On the latest episode of Bachelor in Paradise, the cast gets poetic.
Everything has a season and everything is for a reason. That sounded pretty good. That kind of rhymed it.
Not just kind of. It did. I'm Lizzie Frizzle. Let's talk about TV.
Honestly, that's all I care about.
This time, the show opens with an alt theme song, like an episode of Family Guy that needed a little something extra. And it did. It's an hour before the rose ceremony, and the editors are working overtime to manufacture suspense about which 3 golden women won't get roses. But in reality, Keith's only option is Kathy, Gary's just choosing between Leslie and Nancy, and Kim's choosing between Leslie, Nancy, and Faith. Sucks to be April or Natasha, I guess. Kim is especially drawn to Nancy because both of their spouses have passed away, and to him, that's a special bond unlike any other. But April also lost her husband, and we know how Kim feels about her.
I mean, my feelings for you aren't super strong.
But at the next rose ceremony, despite his emotional talk with Nancy, Kim gives his rose to Faith. Then all the expected pairs pair off. Bryrisa, Jessner, Bellamy, Alishon, Jonea, Andralix, Dat, and Kathith. The final rose goes from Gary to Leslie, leaving April, Nancy, and Natasha as the infamous eliminated trio of golden women we've been building up to for at least an episode and a half. As they go, April gets a group hug from all the guys, but would have preferred a return friendship rose from Jonathan. Natasha gets a hug from Gary, and even better, to come out on top of their joint storyline.
Bye, sweetheart. For now.
Whatever.
Nancy doesn't get a memorable exit, but she did get to appear in 3 episodes, despite only lasting 24 hours in Paradise. Before the cast can race back to the bar to put in attendees order as it closes.
The chicken fingers are stellar.
I will say,
I'm just pleasantly surprised by how freaking good these are.
Jesse makes a big announcement at the end of the rose ceremony.
Now, I've been telling you, everything is going to change, and this is when it does.
That's right, we've finally arrived at the massive format change that's either going to save or sink this show. It's already been teased in trailers, but in case you forgot, the editors drop in the same ADR explanation they used earlier this season.
It's like Bachelor Pad taken to a whole new level. It's just like Bachelor Pad taken to a whole new level.
Some of the biggest changes, according to Jesse, are that no more new people will come to Paradise, which they wouldn't still be at this point anyway. The cast is now paired up based on who the men just gave roses to, which they essentially already were anyway. And everyone is about to start competing in challenges that'll have winners who get power and losers eligible for elimination. The last couples left can potentially win $500,000, which the 30-year-olds are a lot more motivated by than the 70-year-olds.
Winning $500,000 is no motivation whatsoever for me.
Me and Bailey are here to win the money. $500,000, that could change anyone's life.
Do you want love or do you want 500,000? It's a no-brainer. I want love. I don't care about the money.
Bring us home some money!
In the morning on day 11, the men assemble to start training like they're in a modern challenge house.
Hey, Leia! What's up?
Elsewhere, couples start to speed run personal trivia in preparation for a potential test about how well they know each other.
Your favorite food? Oh, I know that. Sushi.
yeah, in a way. My favorite food's Mexican food.
Other couples strategize, like Spencer and Jess. He worries about getting voted out for being the strongest couple, but she doesn't think the show will do a voting twist. Have I got bad news for her?
If I did not call you forward, that means that you were voted out of Paradise by your peers.
I've also got bad news for Parisa and Brian, because all the mundane facts people are scrambling to memorize are the kinds of things he just told Parisa he'd never tell her.
At this point, I'm gonna ask Andrew his favorite color. What's your favorite color, Brian?
I will never answer that question for you.
The realization that the only way Parisa can win $500,000 is to win a relationship contest with Brian brings her to tears.
This new switch up, it sounds so fun with the games, and I'm like, this is my partner, ladies and gentlemen.
As the couples walk into their first challenge, we transition away from chemistry tests and into relationship tests. The name of the game is High, Low, What Do You Know? But I prefer Bachelor in Poker Dice. Each person is privately asked a bunch of questions that can all be answered with a number. Then Jesse reads them aloud with fake answers. Using poker chips, people wager on whether their partner's real responses were higher or lower, like this.
The amount of dates you need to go on before you can make it official. Is it higher or lower than 7 dates?
I'm gonna go lower than 7.
That is incorrect.
The 3 couples with the fewest chips at the end of the game land in the bottom 3. And one of them will eventually end up as the bottom 1 when they become the first couple ever eliminated from Paradise. This challenge clues us in to some truly unimportant, no-context trivia about the cast. Things like Leslie thinks 60 is too young to retire. Alex doesn't care if her boyfriend makes less than $175,000 annually. Bailey has more than 850 unread text messages, and Faith spends less than $25 a month on beauty products.
I spend more than 25.
There were also, of course, a handful of potentially embarrassing personal questions.
The amount of times Leia has faked an orgasm. The amount of cosmetic surgeries Kathy has had. What is Parisa's body count?
Oh, that's a good question.
The closest the episode comes to airing an equivalent question about a man is revealing that Dale had sex more than 4 times in one day. Ahead of the final round, there's a 3-way tie for first place between Leslie and Gary, Kat and Dale, and Bailey and Jeremy. There's also a 2-way race to the bottom featuring Faith and Kim, who were at such a significant disadvantage having only known each other for 24 hours, I think they should have been exempt from this challenge. And Parisa and Brian, who are doing badly not because they haven't known each other long enough, but because Brian doesn't know how much things cost.
The amount Parisa is willing to spend on a wedding. Is it higher or lower than $56,000?
Dude, I don't even know what a wedding costs.
How much should her engagement ring cost? Higher than $18,000.
On an engagement ring?
To be fair, Parisa's also pretty bad at the game.
Percentage of breakups that Brian thinks were his fault. Is it higher or lower than 30%?
Higher than you.
But it's incorrect.
Wow, you're telling me that someone who acts like Brian thinks he isn't responsible for most of his breakups? In the end, Bailey and Jeremy win the challenge thanks to his bold move to bet all their chips on the final question.
You are correct!
Okay, we get it. You won. Sheesh. Joining Kim and Faith and Parisa and Brian in the bottom 3 are Leslie and Gary. Wait, weren't they just in the top 3? That's right, they were. But even though Gary could have just bet 1 chip to guarantee his and Leslie's safety, he bet half their stack instead because both he and Jeremy have caught the performance bug. But Jesse graciously applauds people's confidence whether they succeed or whether they fail spectacularly. And that's just part of what makes him a great host.
You bet your entire stack of chips. Jeremy, I gotta be honest, I do respect your confidence. And you are correct! I respect your confidence, I really do. But I am so sorry. Kim, that's incorrect.
As the winners, Bailey and Jeremy earn a one-on-one date. And as the woman winner, Bailey gets 2 extra roses she'll use to save 2 of the bottom 3 couples. As the bottom 3, Kim and Faith, Brian and Parisa, and Gary and Leslie take the tension out of this first elimination entirely, because 2 of these pairs were part of whole plot lines in the full season trailer that haven't happened yet, and 1 wasn't really in it much at all. After the challenge, back at the resort pool, couples share the wall that I assume is best for making out against.
Oh God, it's just like orgy galore.
I know.
Galorgy! And at the bar, Kim and Faith also make out, feeling closer than ever after talking about Kim's favorite topic, deceased spouses.
When my husband died, I felt like I didn't grieve my marriage.
Elsewhere, Gary tries to cheer Leslie up with a surprise on the beach, but it turns out to just be that he wrote love in the sand. Parisa needs cheering up too after the relationship test kicked her relationship's ass. But instead of comforting her, Brian basically tells Parisa to just be quiet, because if he doesn't require verbal reassurance from a partner, then neither should she.
I've had past partners that overly seek for reassurance. I personally do not need to be verbally reassured, and I think sometimes you over-communicate. where you can like hold things in a little more. Sometimes you overload me with compliments.
You really look so handsome.
You have nice cheekbones, by the way. You smell good.
Yeah, you tan so well. Where have you been my whole life? Your skin is amazing.
Stop it. But it's like, don't dump it all at once. Because like there's like a smothering aspect
With the compliments.
to it
Okay, thank you.
that will turn me off.
The next time a guy I know or the front page of Reddit is complaining about men never getting compliments, I'm gonna show them this clip. Later that night, another dysfunctional couple, one of them just doesn't know it yet, Bailey and Jeremy enjoy dinner, drinks, and fireworks for their winners one-on-one. But Jeremy's looking forward to more than just the date.
It's nice to like be away from everyone.
Yeah, I really don't like the Goldens. So annoying.
I think that was probably the only honest thing Jeremy said all season. Because the rest of the date, he goes back to lying, telling Bailey that his heart's an open book, that he's more attracted to her the longer they're together, and that they know everything about each other. Bailey talks about the importance of loyalty. Every single second of this date is just knife-twisting setup until the rug gets pulled out from under Bailey next episode.
Why would he do this to me?
But before we can get to the next time on, we have to get through day 12, and like this iguana, I'm struggling. Mostly because of Jeremy, who's let Bailey's ability to choose who gets eliminated go to his head. He strategizes with some of the other men, and they all agree that Faith and Kim are easy targets.
I didn't think Faith and Kim had that strong of a connection. I didn't think Faith was into it that much.
Yeah, neither did I. Like, she took a girl on her date.
That's what I'm saying.
She couldn't take Kim because he was at the hospital. You were there. You should know more. You should know more. You should know more about what happened than I do. Jeremy is in so many talks and gives so many interviews and has so many opinions about who should go home. It's pretty infuriating when you realize that he actually doesn't have any opinions at all.
I'm just trying to be there to help guide her and, make sure she's making the right decision for us. I could give a who goes home, to be honest.
How can you guide Bailey to the right decision if you don't care what happens? That night, when Jesse welcomes everyone to the pre-rose ceremony cocktail party, he comments that Paradise seems like it's changed considerably, and it has, because the show changed it. But some things haven't changed at all, like the tension between Brian and Parisa. After arguing through their night in the VIP suite, performing poorly in a challenge that significantly favored couples who'd known each other longer, and getting warned that she's at risk of turning Brian off by being too nice to him, Parisa's still determined to have a good night together. It's even more important to her than getting a rose from Bailey. Problem is, Brian wants to get a rose, so he spends his night politicking, which for some reason includes ignoring Parisa so aggressively, he shuts her out of the bar just to talk about Botox.
Don't turn your damn back to me at the bar and go talk to someone else about injections.
In no way am I saying that Parisa deserves to be treated poorly, but she did know there was a non-zero chance that Brian could suddenly turn against her for being what he deems is too needy, since that's how they got together in the first place.
Zoe and I have had a good connection this far, but Zoe is a little, I don't want to call it clingy, but kind of, for lack of a better word, a little clingy.
I'm like a little skeptical with Brian. I'm like, you might change your mind, or maybe you're not as upfront, maybe you're scared. I'm preparing that it might happen to me at some point too, and I hope not.
Someone else who hasn't changed is Jonathan. First he led Jill on, and now he's doing a sequel with Leia.
You like her, right?
Like romantically?
Yeah.
No, I struck out in Paradise.
According to Jonathan, Leia already knows that he just wants to be friends, but she didn't until Kat tells her later. And she wouldn't have either, because Jonathan stays leading her on. But now at least Leia's able to painstakingly squeeze some honesty out of him like she's collecting the last bit of toothpaste in the tube.
Do you want this to be something more eventually? And like, just be honest.
100%. At this moment right now, I see us as just friends, and I don't know if I'll be able to get over that hurdle.
Okay, but what's that hurdle about? Like, concretely.
If you need me to be black and white, because I can't give a clear answer, I will just say no so that I don't want you to have to
Okay,
wait.
then that's fine.
But like,
Jonathan might as well turn into a human flag and stay that way, because I'll be looking at him sideways for the rest of the season. The biggest thing that has changed in Paradise is that people are pitching themselves to Bailey a lot more than they used to, I assume. She's overwhelmed by the power to eliminate a couple and end their love story. Not Jeremy, though.
I know Bailey's a bit more empathetic than I am tonight.
Just tonight, at the episode's second rose ceremony, all the usuals get roses from their usuals. Spencer from Jess, Dale from Kat, who's cosplaying as Jess, Sean from Alicia, who's cosplaying as a mop, Andrew from Alex, Keith from Kathy, and Jeremy from Bailey. Leia gives her rose to Jonathan because she wants a chance to win $500,000, not because she actually still wants to.
Jonathan. You're welcome.
Later, Bailey gives out her winner's roses via some stilted verbiage.
Can I extend this rose to you?
The first rose goes to Faith because Bailey was moved by her budding romance with Kim, who naturally gets the rose from Faith that she got from Bailey. The second rose goes to Parisa, then Brian. Bailey says it's because their relationship is still growing. But come on, what was she gonna do? Save 2 golden couples? There is some suspense, though, when the producers have Bailey pull a Hell's Kitchen and call up the eliminated person first, momentarily tricking us into thinking she made the opposite choice of the one she actually made.
My decision is... Amber.
Oh my God.
Young lady,
Bishop.
get back in line. Josh, give me a jacket.
It's the final roast tonight.
Leslie, you come forward. What? Leslie, I love you so much. I'm so sorry that I can't offer you this rose.
On their way to the elimination van, Gary says he and Leslie will continue their relationship post-Paradise, which they have, just not romantically. In some episodes, Leslie got lost in the sea of golden women, but Gary was a major character from the moment he stepped out of the arrival van. And now, having been eliminated as a direct result of his woeful wager, Gary will always be remembered, too, as the guy who made,
by far, the dumbest decision in the history of Bachelor in Paradise.
With roses handed out and tears cried out, mostly. The episode ends as Jesse warns the cast that soon they'll get the chance to act on feelings they may have for someone who's part of another couple. Will the show subject us to another kissing booth? Find out next week on another Bachelor in Paradise recap. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe, and consider turning on notifications to be notified about the next video. Thanks again, and see you then. Bye!